ene Newcastle for na kase support be a ba park one who nim na ba ye home gentle mon twema because a back quality 1v1 analysis of quality players are omon to basa de no, but what they can do I'll make me Barcelona compete. The 12 man. So the 12 man is the Newcastle supporters. So they need to be around. They need to be rooting for the supporters. Every single challenge, they need to do that with the supporters. And of course, supporters, yes, now even in the English Premiership, Newcastle, Liverpool, City, Chelsea, Manchester United, the traditional 6 clubs in England. Now, you know what they normally do? At the Newcastle for BNSA, the first 15 minutes, master only Newcastle, but now one maintaining composure. Because on the press, one thing Newcastle does it so well, a more pressing game. It's some more press, so that was the game plan before this game. Barcelona, then now stop you. And now I watch Newcastle game, honestly, we are into the game one. The first thing you notice from Newcastle approach was the lineup nearby, because Nick Vortamandi almost dropping it because he needed players that press Barcelona for Niepa. So now Newcastle went Harvey Barnes, Anthony Gordon, Anthony Elanga. Let's just say these are 3 pieces on the press Barcelona for no. Behind them, AS almost 3-man midfield. No master. To Tona Lisandro, Jolinson, and Bruno Gomarash. And see, clearly, now let me tell you something. And again, I go back to the conversation about pressing game because Famisha say even from minute 4, na yankwa shadi. Because clearly, Barcelona for no, and again, now there was no way a hands flick and Sano. They were going to play the ball from the back. But I mean, Chad, you been away and say Newcastle for idea and say Barcelona for the goalkeeper and fa baller. Plan is okay. Oh, goalkeeper wa fa ball. Until Ronald Royo, any Pau Kubasi a big game in. And that's understandable because so goalkeeper could have baller, you don't come close to them. Total football, one of the rules tells you say goalkeeper footballer, we a defender, center halves for the 2. Young minutes 33. Minutes 33, and let me also show you 1 or 2 things. And you may be high and you moving on. Okay? Again, what is Barcelona trying to do? They are trying to pass the ball from the back. Newcastle are forcing them to also go back. Again, almost players a man to man. And Barcelona are being forced to move the ball back. But America say, the more touches Pedri and Frankie de Jong, I don't know Barcelona. And at some point in time, Barcelona for so a push on quickly. But whenever Barcelona does that, Newcastle recall it now in a 5-4-1 defensive shape. Then they allow the wings because the whole idea for Newcastle in their defense is they will not let Barcelona penetrate centrally. So blockade the central space. Senebaya Barcelona for no in possession. Born to me more centrally. And nothing I'm more complaining about Femi Lopez when so. Meanwhile, this uncommon that say Femi Lopez no say Oshatima team near low blocker and yana style no. Danny almost style. I say, yes, Newcastle for no did not defend in a low block, but how they defended because the whole idea was to block Barcelona centrally. Now Barcelona players a central zone no. Lewandowski, Femi Lopez, because there were players around them. But in Newcastle for no, what they did was that now Jai wings one because Lami Yamal in the game, and now just go the opportunity. So onya sa spaces are because Newcastle only cared about the central zones. No move say force Barcelona for core wings wa. Now Barcelona here crosser and foul because crosser Barcelona be no. Players say into Barcelona all the your cross your cross pim. Into Gina omuju no. And a man just go to quiet cross now. Marcus Rashford a heady ball in the share, So you hundi. Inti, they were, in fact, they allowed Barcelona to be crossing. Now, would you want the Atia for so the amount? I say, honestly, because they drew NMA, Marcus Rashford again. See, Rashford, Otimisha Newcastle for too much. Also, so Newcastle for my be on Copa way. 7 goals against Newcastle. The only team was show do pa a Leicester City. That's 8. And watching Newcastle 7. Inti on museno musi yen the dada or show more time with Pia. By now, Newcastle for no. I'm so proud to this game. Now when Barcelona ball 4 times. Now Barcelona show mumiensa. Newcastle share back. Newcastle share Barcelona was 97-98. Barcelona show mu 1-0 ewo Camp Nou na ombe lusu 3-2 ewo England. Because 2002-2003 season, Barca bomo home and away 2-0 ewo Newcastle for fear of show mu 3-1. Before this game, it was 3 wins for Barcelona, Newcastle 1. They say Barcelona I in 4 against 1. And then when they say Newcastle for them, Barcelona supporters just 900 per in the Rock Stadium or 900 into hoping the same come the day ebe Barcelona for no into only 900. But you see Newcastle and Barcelona more similarities kakra and yes say a bunch sadie, and of course the only one is say Bobby Robson. Or no, our statue our stadium. Montenegro, for instance, some the scarf ekotu nukomo Newcastle the Ebako, Barcelona the Ebako, because time no be coachy Barcelona no or the Barcelona the Copa del Rey, European Cup Winners' Cup. Those days near about Cup Winners' Cup 96-97 or the Barcelona GA. And about Newcastle so obey idea be so mufan so on the we're making history our Barcelona, we're making history our Newcastle, so let's honor him. And of course they did that. And see Kenya problem yeah what I say. But the game itself na akwakoye issues be kakra. Inti and the spaces nearby, you know. I am extremely happy for Marcus Rashford because and utie narrations na edrume bi na Barcelona for nedwano because then it touches a star bi and so many times with him say now he was fumbling kakra but nenye problem because of how Barcelona were playing. Now I go happy when he scored the goal. The second goal no cry there marvelous what a goal man says hey boy no wash goal say papa but wait I now me cancel football wo hu margins. First 15-20 minutes, what Newcastle did and what Juan Garcia did, that was the game changer. Here, Newcastle ninya openings bi anka ball no twats na mu a. Kemema game na idea ama Barcelona. I'm telling you this. Back on the 4th minute, we say Anthony Gordon ekwashi ampa bi, that could have been a goal number 1 for Newcastle. On the 6th minute, Barcelona for play a proper offside trap. We mama mijana say because Elanga famu kwa koya nka asemwesi. Watch this very well. Say pass na koya radi Yesu have bounce mo we dey nka asemwesi. What I say? Inti Barcelona for have bounce straw koya den ko beshe. And almost said say no offside this at some point in time Juan Garcia marvelous master say Juan Garcia no I am very very happy for him honestly oyobia na no na make say ope goalkeepers enim ball chipa oka ho bi omo chi ball pa anim say goalkeeper we yes onim ball chipa Juan Garcia onim sade ni biye and again Espanyol a team one omo attack bebre de bia they are defending in a low block into de bia no short ba almost into oye lots of saves but na all Barcelona the problem no na enye saves obeye the problem is say he needed to understand how Barcelona plays no abaya ball playing goalkeeper because in terms of saves today we all know he does that very well. What surprises me is how he has adapted to how Barcelona plays. As he say, sweepy ball well. In Tanya say, and then save Barcelona on that occasion because if the ball had entered the net, kasa mwesi oye onibotche pa nti again say na nko betimi the performance or Espanyol no abeto a big club like Barcelona no obetinya yes ade no ana obai wa beye wo league dem people kept on questioning say okay why ye wo league dem de obetinya beye sa wo Champions League dem ana yanko baby I agree but then why ade pa means a man for Bonabaso honestly football they be America margins plays a huge part of the game because maybe say one said attention Kwaku Edilson for the so you better place in Gina Park no so but the reality is that save man and they about game we in Barcelona and you're 64% Newcastle 95 of them of course, Newcastle bought 10 shots, 6 na on target. And see, that's what it is. Newcastle for last minute and Anthony Gordon and so Etse Kadema Newcastle. But I'm saying interviews, Nigus where Cosumere, Yamani Befrafra.